everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn with Lynn. I'm Lynn Christensen with Emerald Falls Quilts, and in this episode I am going to show you how to make the mini collage horse. Now 2026 for the Chinese New Year is the year of the fire horse, so I thought that this would be a fun pattern to make a fire horse. This is a mini collage. It's designed to go onto a 10 by 10 piece of fabric. So I have my pattern that I've printed out and the template for this pattern. This pattern is available for purchase. The link is below this video and you can get the pattern to make the little horse from there. And because mine is a fire horse, I have pulled these fabrics. This one has like oranges and reds. This is going to be the main body of my horse. I've cut this into a 6 about 12. It's probably a little less than 12, but I needed to make sure it was big enough to cover the whole body of the horse. Then I also have this fabric. I'm going to be using some of these oranges and yellows in between. I'm not sure exactly yet. It might be part of his face or his ears. I have this fabric that I'm going to use the little hooves and a couple of other oranges to play around with. This one that I'm not sure, like I just pulled some oranges and yellows that looked like fire to me to play with. I have this one also. It has some of these petals that I might use, or I might just cut some of these out. Now you can see I've already used, this is one of my already fused scraps. I used parts of this in my bison. So I'm going to be using some of these leaf pieces possibly to be parts of the mane, to be like flames. Same with this and these, like those kind of look like flames. This actually, this little tiny center, I think I'm going to use that for the eye. We'll see how that works. I have some more oranges and yellows that I might play around with for flames. And then I pulled these. These were scraps left over from the bison. And I might use them either somewhere in the collage. So that jiggle is Dolly. She just jumped up here to say hello. You might see her tail. But these will be possible motifs that I either add around the collage or use in the collage. So let's get started. So the first step will be to take our template and place it underneath our fuse mat. So once our pattern is underneath our fuse mat, the first step will be to do the main body. So I'm going to do the head first, and I'm going to peel back my fused fabric, and I kind of want the head to be this darker orange. All right, so I've peeled that back. Then I'm going to just take my pencil and I am just going to trace the head shape. And because I need this to be its own piece, I'm just going to keep the head going up like that. And I'm going to put that back together, and I'm going to press this back closed. So right now it's really floppy. If I tried to cut it, it'll be floppy and really hard to cut. So I'm going to press this again. And I just place my iron like that. And then I'm just going to cut out right on the outside edge of that pencil line. And then I'm going to peel that paper off and place it where it will go. So there's the head. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the body. Okay, so now we will peel that paper off. And place the body where it goes. And I actually want the chin to be kind of on top. All right, so that is what I'm going to keep doing. I'm just going to keep tracing until I have my entire horse complete. And you can even see right here where my tracing and cutting doesn't quite match the pattern completely. The good news is this pattern goes away. Nobody will ever see that mine's different. So don't stress out if you're not exactly matching. But this is important because when I go to do this leg and this tail, I'm going to want to make sure that I extend my leg and my tail so that they fill in this spot that I missed. All right, so I'm going to just keep doing that, and then I will come back and show you the next step. All right, so I have finished my horse and pressed him on the mat, which then allows me to turn him into one big sticker. And he's pretty simple. I did include a little flower here because I loved My Little Pony when I was growing up. So he's got his little flower decal on his hindquarters like My Little Pony did. And I'm just going to test out a couple of background fabrics. I want something that he pops on and looks a little, I don't know, fire horse-ish. Now this pattern, he can be done this way where he's leaping, or it can be done this way where he is like rearing up. So I haven't really decided. I'm more just testing how he looks on a background. And I really love this one. But then I also just have kind of a plain black. That one's pretty too, but I still think I like the stars in there better. And then I also have this black. That's a little boring. And then I also have this white that has like these orangish lines on it. And I really feel like he pops the best here. So this is not a 10 by 10, so I'm going to cut it into a 10 by 10 square and then place him where I want him. And I have a couple of motifs that I cut just to give a little extra oomph to the project. I probably won't use this flower, but I'll probably use this one because it looks more like a little jewel. So I'm going to trim this and then see where I want to place this, and then he will be ready to go. All right, so I have cut my background fabric into a 10 by 10. I have my fire horse kind of rearing up, and I placed this kind of in the upper corner because it was kind of, you can see that it's pretty empty without that there. So I thought that was just a fun little addition to put in. Now, I cut mine 10 by 10, and that is what the instructions say. You can cut this background fabric to whatever size you want. If you're wanting to wrap it on an 8 by 8 canvas, you would need to actually cut it 11 by 11. Or you can also cut it a little bit smaller if you need it to fit into something smaller. So now that I have that the way that I like it, I will steam and press it, and then I will quilt it, and it will be ready to be bound and be just a fun little wall hanging to celebrate the year of the fire horse. So thank you so much for making the fire horse with me. Remember that the pattern for this is below in the description, and I hope that you have a lot of fun making your fire horse. You also don't have to make it a fire horse. You can make it whatever kind of horse that you want, but I hope you enjoy making your horse and you find some joy and delight in your day. Now, go make something beautiful.